Hello people, welcome to this short video. I will mod my BeyerDynamic OPUS 99 bass kick microphone. Well, the thing with this microphone is that it has a capsule that goes into more expensive variants. I think it's M44 and alike. And those would have a switch for different filter characteristics or flat. And this version, the M99 Opus, sorry, yeah, is that the name? Opus 99, yeah. What it does, it has a fixed filter, which is a smiley filter, scoops out the mid frequencies, which is great for a kick, which is tuned like a rock style kick. But I don't need this filter, and I want to take it out. I got this one cheap, and it has another problem as well. I'll talk about that in a second. So this one is already taken apart, but I will be putting it together so you will see how that works. So the crucial thing here is that this circuit here is actually the circuit that would work for the more expensive versions, and this is probably the place for the switches and the other filter and all the rest. But actually in this version only the bottom part of the circuit is active, so it has two condensers, sorry, three, but two are in series, so they kind of act together as one, and then a coil here. And the schematic is available online. Beyer gives those out, which is great. So what I'm after is just bypassing that filter. So I've already messed with this one, but actually there's two things to do electronically here. One is to take the white wire and put it from the contact called W to the contact called WS. Okay, so I'll try to do that. Actually, this time around I didn't take off the XLR thingy, but well, for a modder hacker, I don't know, I think I should be too pedantic. Anyway. Okay, so that's the white on the WS. So I can now beep that through, so just to double check stuff. So the red goes through to the red on the other side. Hello. Clumsy, clumsy. Beep, beep. I said the red goes through to the red. Yep, that looks good. And the white goes through to the white. Okay, so those are now connected, and the brown is the shield, connected with the casing. And then we've disconnected what used to be in series with the white. So maybe I can figure what that was. So from W it went in series with the coil. Okay, so we've disconnected the coil and probably one of the condensers as well. But in any case, there is a condenser in parallel, which is still a problem because it remains in parallel. And in order to do that without removing the surface mount condensers here, what you can do is just sever this very connection. So there's two of these. These seem to be the kind of jumpers that would allow you to go through the other circuit as well, which is empty in this version, probably populated in other versions. So here comes my clumsy set of tools. I don't have a wire cutter. Maybe I should try it with a scissor. Maybe I should buy a wire cutter. Okay, looks like I've successfully severed that connection there. And do double check these things. And beep this through. It doesn't beep through anymore. Okay, so those things are disconnected. So my white, let's see what's happening here. It doesn't come through to the red. So the parallel connection is severed, and then I can also double check again that the white touches white and the red touches red. Okay, so that's the electronics of it. And then the mechanics of it, well, just putting it back together. So what you have when you start disassembling this microphone is that this cover is glued here, and once you remove it you see the two long screws that hold the other metal part in place. So I can use these screws now to find the orientation, how this used to be, which is this. And try to be a bit less clumsy. I think this one will be easier to put in place once this one is done. Okay. And then the screws that actually hold this are right here. I have 3 of those screws. And these screws are a bit funny because they don't really go tight easily. It's a bit of a pain, to be honest, but pain worthwhile. I believe the top range of these, which is not even manufactured anymore, Beyer's gone into doing these pressure zone type kick microphones. So I believe you can only get these second hand now unless you find an old stock. But the top range one with the switch for 2 filters and a no filter option, I believe it costs like 400 or 500 euros, whatever's. And according to some online sources, it is the exact same capsule. So if you trust your post filtering, then this should be a cool, hacky way to get a good quality dynamic capsule for cheap, without the bloody fixed filter. Okay, so that's there. And then this very old battered thing has another issue, which is the suspension of the capsule, which is originally done by these small rubber hooks into which the plastic hook, well actually that's the hook, goes. And these have just broken. I mean, that's, I think, something you could call a design flaw, because this doesn't look very strong to start with. So my suspension is busted there. This was a very lovely suspended capsule in this basket. But I came up with just squeezing in some rubber there, which obviously doesn't suspend it extremely well, but it gives it some play and it doesn't hit against the basket, making odd sounds. It used to look a bit better, this rubber, but I'm not really fussed. I mean, as far as my acoustics understanding goes, it might even improve the bass response, because if you have a totally loose hanging capsule, then it absorbs the bass, and if it has some more stiff connection to the ground, so obviously through the stand and everything, then it doesn't absorb that much bass. On the other hand, it's probably gonna be more sensitive to mechanical noise and noise transmitted from the ground up. But essentially that is it. This one goes back again on top. I didn't even remove the XLR, but that's also an easy one. There is one screw, you can take it off and be a bit less clumsy. But never mind that. The good news is that I have successfully removed the filter, and I've got a really lovely capsule for quite cheap. There we go. Thanks for watching, and obviously do this at your own personal risk of damaging the hell out of this lovely microphone. Bye bye.